enjoy fruit. I'm trying to diversify right now. The freeze has probably killed most of my figs. We're just going to give them a few months and see if some of them wake up. I do have one fig tree that I saved during our freeze by taking it in. The rest of these I didn't have room for, and it came on so fast that, well, I couldn't clear out room for it either. I saved all my citrus except the one in ground over there. We're going to watch Lucy the lemon and see if she recovers. But yeah, I wanted to diversify my fruit anyway, and so I've been able to look at options for stone fruit, for apples. Our apples are shipping now, and they'll be here soon. We'll be planting bare root apple grafts. So yeah, fruit, man. I like the idea of perennials. I like the idea of fruit that comes back year after year and gives you something. I like the idea of growing things in a small space, the space that I have, and goji berries can be pruned and are prolific and can grow easily here. We're going to plant some goji berries. Goji berries are one of those superfoods that is real easy to grow, and I've got some goji berry cuttings here. They're actually rooted cuttings. There's some bare roots down here we'll uncover. Take a look at these seemingly dead twigs, but they're just dormant, and they will pop out and grow prolifically. I'm going to put them in a pot and show you how to grow these things in a pot, or at least to plant them, and we'll wait and see what happens with these seemingly dead twigs. Okay, so these come wrapped. They're very moist. Got some newspaper here. Let's take a look at what we got. I actually ordered these off of eBay from a supplier that my buddy David the Good recommended. And there's what we got. We have a spider in there too, a little hitch along. Come on out of there, fella. Go live somewhere else. It's a wolf spider. He took a long trip in the mail. All right, so let's see. I'm taking this clay off, and you can see that we have some roots down here, and that's good. We want a root system. We could start with just a cutting, but it's easier to start with roots. Your plant's already got some future going for it. So we're going to go over and put this in some regular old potting soil. It's actually recycled potting soil. You could divide this into two plants, but I'm just going to start with this one. I'm going to be using this recycled potting soil. I grew some flowers in here, and so there's all kinds of roots down in here. There's probably some seeds down in here that are going to come up, but I'm just going to take this, stick it in there like so. Now, goji berries are said to prefer a little bit of lime in the soil, but I'm just going to go with this as it is, and that's probably as simple as it can get right there. I will eventually transfer this guy to a permanent location. This is a perennial plant, and you can grow them and divide them, and they'll take over. They prefer a little bit of trellising, and but we're just going to get it started in this pot and let it grow its first year in here, and then we'll find a permanent home for it somewhere. I don't know where. You can hear in the background, perhaps, chainsaws. People are cutting out all the dead trees that the freeze brought on. The trees really got knocked back a lot. You can drive around and it's really sad. Those big palm trees back there, they've been knocked back quite a bit. They may even be dead. They're looking pretty sad right now. You can see the damage on them. So yeah, the freeze really did give a lot of hassle to people around in terms of their trees, their hedges, and their lawns. But for me, it's also an opportunity to start fresh with some new things, and so that's what I'm doing this year with fruit. I'm going to put in some different kinds of fruit and different varieties that I've never grown before. Though it was covered, my elderberry took some damage, but it's coming right back, so that's encouraging. Even these long shoots are doing fine. This is my sanguinelli blood orange. It is in blossom. I have a key lime right here also putting on some blossoms. They're looking a little yellow. They need fertilizer. Over here I have I think this is a kishu. Yes, it's a kishu mandarin. and it is starting to blossom as well. We've got some new growth on this pruned portion here. This tree had a pretty spindly, long, bad shape to it, so I've taken that back. I'm going to have to up pot these this year into larger pots. This right here, those are Satsuma oranges, baby ones. Yeah, this one made the storm in the garage as well. Lots of blossoms coming on. These smell so good. I've been straightening this tree and it's working. I think I mentioned that in the previous video, but yeah, this tree is doing quite nice. I think it's because I put it in a bigger pot. No signs of life on my peach tree here. It probably made it through the freeze just fine, but I'm alarmed that I see a little bit of mildew right here on the cut. Even though it's slanted and even though I protected this plant with IV Organics 3-in-1 protectant, there's still a little mush in there, or mold or mildew or something on there. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get some hydrogen peroxide. But I don't see any change in the buds. Maybe a little bit. This is my plum tree, and I see the same kind of mold or algae or mildew, whatever that is, on the cut, even underneath this. It's not mushy, so it's not just dead wood there. I do see a little bit of progress on this. I see the buds are starting to push up a little bit, so I think this one's alive. I think we've made it with this one. We shall see. My muscadines were pruned before the freeze. They're still weeping a little bit. That tells me that there's vascular activity going on in these plants, and they'll probably be just fine. But it'll be hard to tell. These things take a little bit longer to come out of dormancy than some of the other trees we've got here, so we'll see. You can see the garden is a blank slate. We harvested the carrots, we harvested the Brussels sprouts. We got everything in, and we've been working this week to prepare the garden for our plant out. I believe now we can plant anytime. I'm trying to harden off my tomato starts right now, but it's going to be cloudy for a week, so we're going to have a little bit of delay on that. But it's time to start putting things in there now. We have a fresh start. I did sow some direct seeded herbs and flowers in here. We've got some echinacea. I'm not real hopeful for that because I did not stratify it and freeze it. It benefits from a little bit of cold. Got some safflower here. That grew well for me last year. I've got some borage over there, and we've got some St. John's wort along the front. And if these seeds come up, and depending on how dense they are, we can plant some other things in here as well. Different kinds of herbs and flowers and pollinator attractors. Looky there. That is the yarrow that's coming up. So we got a bunch of herbs that we started and flowers and pollinator attractors in that tray. And over here we've got some onions that are growing in this tray. Some spring onions. They haven't shown up yet, but I'm hopeful for those. So yeah, spring is definitely here. It's time to get the garden going. Thanks for joining me on Black Gumbo Southern Gardening. Just a short video with a fruit update. I hope you find our content useful. If so, please subscribe. We're almost at 100,000 subscribers, and we sure would like to get there soon. So happy gardening to you. We'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.